How are you guys doing? I'm Martin from Gardens for Life and Birdland Homestead, and this is our 28th session of live session or live chat even, and I answer any questions that you might have. We'll just wait for people to join now. If you're listening to this afterwards on the audio only, I will let you know if I put any domain names or URLs up on the screen throughout the broadcast. So we'll just hang on in there for a minute and wait for people to join. As you can see, we've been busy. Hello, Bianca. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. Oh, let me see here. It would appear that, oh yes, the counter, the live viewer on StreamYard is actually a little bit off. It usually takes a few seconds to refresh. Now we have people coming in. Thank you guys for joining. Again, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. Just type the word question into the chat first so that I know the question is directed towards me. And we are going to talk about the weather a little bit, as we do here in Ireland. And we finally had a bit of rain, actually, yesterday and today here in the Midlands of Ireland. And all of our plants are really dry. Even the no-dig garden spaces or grow spaces or garden beds are actually quite dry. When you dig down into them, there isn't a lot of moisture left in them after it didn't really rain much now in the last 3 or 4 weeks now. So we're happy with that because we have access to the fields. We can drive vehicles in there, including deliveries as well, like compost or wood chips, for example. So it's really good for us here in the summer to get a good dry spell so that the ground dries up, especially in a wet country. It's a cold temperate maritime climate here in Ireland, and we are usually after August, for example, typically speaking, we're stuck with mucky fields and we can't get deliveries of compost, for example, anymore, which means we have to wait for next summer. And I think now we still have a chance though. So if any of you guys are still looking for compost or wood chips, let us know. If you need a contact number, I'll happily share that with you. We have a couple of contacts for basic materials. Just send me an email to contact@gardensforlife.ie. And just to let you know, I am reading out domain names sometimes that I put up on the screen as well, just to make sure that you guys that listen to this on the audio only afterwards will also know what's happening. So we've got a good few people joining now. Thank you guys for joining. And again, if you have any questions at all about gardening, no-dig or forest gardening, perennial plants, for example, we grow mostly perennials. Really, the only exception is plants that actually keep reseeding themselves year after year, such as the purple tree spinach, which I picked up in the garden earlier. See, this is it. Looks a bit like amaranth, actually. I think it's in the same family. If anyone here knows, please let me know. Well, it's a wonderful vegetable. It only grows from seed every year, though. It definitely dies back with the frost. So unfortunately, it's not frost hardy. But the purple tree spinach is an awesome, rare enough vegetable, but it grows really well. It grows into a huge plant, and it's very productive. So you can even eat the seed heads as well, as far as I know. But even before they go to seed in the early summer and midsummer, you can eat the leaves and you can saute them for a minute in the frying pan with butter. It's really nice. It's a nice vegetable to have, really good for breakfast as well. And one thing, I actually just went into the garden before this live chat because I was going to just closing the chickens, and I had a look in the garden just to see what I can pick up to show you guys. And it was just a rotten day out there. We didn't even go outside, to be honest, other than opening the chickens and closing the chickens. It's one of those rare days where we actually spent the whole day inside the house and we didn't even bother going out into the garden. And normally we'd be mad to go out there. I can't wait now to tomorrow because apparently the weather is going to be much better. Let me show you. So in the Midlands of Ireland, all the rain is gone now. So hopefully that's most of the rain gone. So that means we can still get deliveries for another week or two till we're ready for them. But you can see, of course, this will only apply to you if you live in the Midlands of Ireland. But still, I just want to show you and comment on it. So we still get a bit of a drizzle, which is okay as long as it's not drizzling all day. And you can see the temperatures are dropping off an awful lot as soon as the wind turned. And seems like the Gulf Stream is coming back there for a minute. But you can see here, it's still warm enough for the end of September, in fairness, and the beginning of October. Look at that. It's going to get warmer again towards the end of next week. If it's true, you can't always go by the weather forecast, especially here in Ireland, because the wind could turn tomorrow, and that's the end of the weather forecast for the rest of the week. You never know. I also wanted to show you a couple other bits here. We did put out a couple of new videos in the last while. There's one here that, if you haven't seen it yet, it's just all about willows, poplars, and elders. So those actually grow the fastest here in Ireland anyway. I'm not too sure about other parts of the world, and I'm sure there are other trees that grow even faster, but I think probably deciduous trees are a higher value wood, but also they often have other benefits, such as the willow, for example, could be used not only for firewood, but it could also be used for, well, of course, for weaving. It's a different variety though. You can also use it for bee food in early spring. So there's a lot of benefits to all these different trees, especially the elder, of course, has the flowers in early summer, the European elder, and the berries in September, so right around now. Don't forget, see, I'm holding one of those, the elderberries here in the thumbnail. And just a little reminder, go out there and find, if you don't have any elderberry trees on your property, you'll be able to find some somewhere if you're on the British Isles, and they're always available in the hedgerows anyway. So definitely take some berries, and then you need to boil those for, I think, 20 minutes. And you can add a little bit of sugar if you want to, just to make it a little more palatable. And you can sieve it, and then you can make an elderberry syrup, which can be stored in the fridge for 3 months, and it's great during flu season. So that's always good to have, and it also tastes really good as well. So Bianca, my wife, actually made a blackberry cordial there, and just a nice big full 1 liter jar of it, and it's actually been devoured over the last week, and it's really good. We just mix it with fizzy water, and it's like lemonade basically, but better because there's no harmful chemicals in it, of course, and we can control the amount of sugar in it as well. One of the things I wanted to show you also is Bianca, my wife, actually published her new album. I know it's not part of gardening, but this is what we've been busy with over the last week. Then, yeah, so she actually did her album launch in the library as part of the Roscommon Culture Festival. So yeah, if you want to have a look at it, you're welcome to. And there is also some videos on her YouTube channel. So just search for Bianca Fischel on YouTube and you'll find her. You'll see the name there. All right. The weather is not looking too bad. Hello, Mike. How are you doing? Thanks for joining again. How are you guys doing? Thanks for joining. Oh, let me see. So somebody here's asking, how do you find others in the area and share and meet up? So seed and plant swaps are a great way to meet like-minded people, or any kind of activities really that are related to whatever you are into. I guess it's gardening and homesteading, since that you're here. I would suggest find a local seed and plant swap. If you're somewhere near the Midlands of Ireland, like we host 2 or 3 seed and plant swaps per year, usually early in the year, and then another one in May. And we'll do another one at the end of the growing season now anyway. So I'm not too sure when it'll be. We did have a lot on our plates, but we're getting there, and we're going to finish off all of our winter prep projects that we have to do on our homestead here, and then we're looking to host another seed and plant swap, and it'll be a bit of a harvest festival too, because people can bring in their pumpkins and whatever they find in the gardens. By the way, let me just see here. I wanted to show you, last week I actually put out a video about seed saving, this one here. And it's that time of year, folks. Go out there into your gardens. You'd be surprised all the seeds you'll find. So if you have no experience at seed saving, have a look at this video on our website. And there it is. There's the name of the video, of the page. And I'm harvesting about, I think, 5 or 6 different plants in that video, like lovage and feverfew and various different types. Even dahlias are out there too now, so there's loads of free seeds to be had, and these seeds would be even better quality than the ones you get from the garden centre or from seed catalogues, because they're your own. They're already locally adapted, at least by one generation, and you get your own mix if you have different varieties, especially in pumpkins. So this year we have a really interesting one. Actually, we're growing 2 different types of pumpkins. Normally we'd only grow one, the Yoshiki Kuri. That's the Japanese red curry pumpkin, red curry. And this year we added the Turk's turban, just to see how it adds itself to the mix. So let's see what kind of pumpkins we're going to get next year, and it's going to be very interesting just to see. We do prefer, like, we might grow the same pumpkins in a different location, at least maybe a mile or 2 away, just to be able to get the exact variety. If you only grow one variety of pumpkin, you get a purebred pumpkin. So if anyone here knows, please let me know. Do courgettes cross-pollinate with pumpkins? I'd like to know, just to see, will the courgettes actually dilute the pumpkin seeds? I wonder about that. But definitely there's a lot of seeds out there, and you'd be surprised. In an hour you could collect hundreds of euro worth of seeds, and you'll save money next year, next spring. And you can give these to people as well. Any surplus seeds you have, give them to other people, and they might give you some back, especially people who are into gardening or come to a seed and plant swap. So that actually is just something worth mentioning. Now, Mike, they're not here yet. We didn't get that far yet, Mike, and we're still working on winterizing the homestead and getting everything ready. But we are just finishing our renovations, as you can see. We got our couple of IKEA wardrobes in now, and we are going to be fixing up the stove and cleaning the chimney. I like to do that myself, because why not? I can do it in 20 minutes, half an hour, and pay myself the money that it would normally cost. A little bit of work in that now, but I don't mind doing it. Now, let me see. It's here. So thanks for the comfrey cuttings. They were planted in the greenhouse 2 weeks ago, have started sprouting this week. Great. Yeah, I find that comfrey is very reliable when you're planting. Even the root cuttings, you could cut them into any size piece and they'll still grow into a new plant. So it's a handy thing about comfrey, and you'll have it forever. You can basically cut it up. You can take up plants again next year after they grow. Next winter you'll be able to take them up, and you'll have loads of cuttings then, and you can make any amount of comfrey plants. And if you have an orchard or even just a few fruit trees like apples, pears or plums or whatever you have, you can plant the comfrey underneath, and it'll actually outcompete the grasses. And then you can do a chop and drop, which is simply cutting the leaves back either with a scythe or with a little sickle. Cheap enough. You can get them on gardening websites, even in Ireland here. I'd like to get a Japanese sickle, actually. I'm not sure what they're called, but Michael Pilarski uses one. He's actually a herb grower, and he just uses it to chop weeds and to cut back leaves, especially comfrey and various different types of crops that he's grown. And Michael Pilarski is well worth looking up on YouTube. There is a YouTube channel called Anna Palotta, and he's on that channel mostly. That's where he's based. And comfrey can be chopped back about 2 or 3 times a year if you want to, and you can just leave the leaves where they are in situ, and they'll rot down and provide a little bit of mulch and nutrients for the apple tree. And the idea is that the comfrey is a mineral accumulator. It can go very deep. It has a deep root, like a tap root, and it'll reach minerals that your fruit tree roots cannot reach, and therefore provides the tree with all the minerals that it needs and makes the apples even better. I think it'll make it a lot more productive. It's well worth looking that up on. If you have fruit trees, look it up, permaculture, or just comfrey under fruit trees. It will come up as a permaculture kind of method. When would I plant the comfrey outside? Well, anytime really. You can plant them even now, but if you keep them in the greenhouse, they'll grow for a little bit longer. The comfrey outside hasn't died back yet. It's not gone that cold yet, but probably another month, I'd say, before all the leaves will recede and they'll go dry. And you could plant them out now, or I would just keep them in the greenhouse until they wilt away. But if you don't have the room in the greenhouse, or if you don't want to bother potting them on, you could pot them up into a few pots, like 2 or 3 liter pots, and put multiple cuttings into each pot and keep them in the greenhouse. That way they'll grow for probably a month longer than they would outside. And you can plant those outside then later on in spring, or even, well, anytime really in the winter. Comfrey is a hardy plant. It always comes back the next year. Same as horseradish as well. We have a question from Mike here. Jerusalem artichokes have not flowered yet. Is it too late for them? No, it depends on the variety and how much sun they're getting. They do need full sun, and they do need a good summer. But I found that this year some of the varieties are flowered. They're starting to flower. You can see the leaves are getting much smaller, and therefore it'll actually make a flower. So you can see the flower heads are out on Aurora, Reuben, I think Red Fuzhou, and the Chinese variety as well. So they're starting to flower, but again, everything is behind this year, and there's like 4 to 6 weeks of a delay in the growing season this year. I wouldn't expect to see flowers off the Jerusalem artichokes, but there's no benefit to having them, except, of course, they're nice to look at, and they're probably good for the insects as well. But other than that, you won't get seeds anyway in Ireland. But your seed is basically a tuber, so you always have the same variety if you keep propagating the Jerusalem artichoke via the tubers. And next year, I'm going to be growing a lot more Jerusalem artichokes because actually the patches I've got are fine, but there's only so much capacity in them, and I'd like to do more with Jerusalem artichokes. I'd like to make them available to animals as feed as well, and get the animals to actually harvest them as well. But you can also have them in one patch and then keep them there permanently, and you can spread it from there slowly. It'll keep clumping outward, but if you don't want it to spread, you simply need to harvest them 1 year after another. Every winter you can just harvest away whatever you need on the outside of where the Jerusalem artichoke patch is. So you can, that's what I do basically. I just harvest things on the paths first, and then after that, I just spread them into different areas where I don't mind them spreading, basically. Well, we've got 2 acres of gardens at the moment, so we don't mind if they spread, because the more they spread, the more we have, the more tubers we get. So I don't mind actually in any of our gardens if any of the plants that we planted in the first place that are actually useful to us as food or medicine, or even for other things like insectaries, like attract beneficial insects. Any plants that we put down, I don't mind if they make seeds and spread, like the feverfew. I really don't mind if they naturalize in the garden and they just keep spreading. I don't have to bother starting seedlings then in the greenhouse, so that's handy. Now, let me have a look here. We'll run our giveaway soon, in the next, maybe in the next few minutes or so. And we'll just make sure that everybody's here. So we're going to do a €50 voucher giveaway, same as almost every Thursday we run a giveaway. And this time it's another €50 voucher for our online shop. So if you are not familiar with our shop, here's a link, gardensforlife.ie/shop. Might actually paste that link into the chat as well. And yeah, one of you is in for a chance to win it. And somebody is definitely going to win it tonight. And you can then use your voucher on our shop to buy, for example, tubers like the Jerusalem artichoke or the oca, which is a tuberous oxalis. It's like a potato but smaller and slightly different flavor, but it doesn't suffer from any pests or blight. Plus the leaves are also edible in small quantities as well. We've also got, actually mashuas are sold out already. We've got yacons again this year. Thanks to the bejesus, because 2 years ago I almost lost all the yacons, and Charles from the Bull on Arc luckily saved me on that one, and he gave me some extra yacons as well to grow them on again. But we've also got willow cuttings now too, and hybrid poplar are all available now for pre-sale. So all of those are going to be shipping out as soon as the leaves come off. We'll start harvesting them, and we'll make some videos about it too, just to show you what kind of an abundance our gardens are all producing. Any of our hedges are usually mixed, and we usually throw in mostly willow because it's just so beneficial. It's like a fodder tree. It also produces a tick cover during the growing season, a windbreak and privacy, and it produces nectar in the early spring as well for all the insects. So again, for those of you who just joined, I see a few people just joined. We'll do our giveaway for the €50 voucher for our online shop shortly. So please hang in there for a minute if you're here for that. We also run a membership as well. So here on YouTube, we now have memberships available as well. So it's €5 a month, and you get 25% off everything we do. And you get to access to other exclusive content as well. Our online no-dig course is also available as well. So whether you join our membership on our website, gardensforlife.ie/members, or on YouTube or on Patreon, it doesn't really bother us much. It'd be nice if you join wherever it suits you the best. And we'd highly appreciate your support, and we'll try to give you as much value as we can for your support. So the online no-dig course is available for €69, but members get access to it for free. It's €5 a month or €50 per year for the membership. And you get other benefits too, like a surprise gift with every order. And if you are already a member, please let me know if you don't have access to our online no-dig course, the gardening course, on our website, because you are entitled to get access to it for free, as long as you're a member. So someone, Beacon here is asking about, I can never get my yacon crowns to survive until spring. Any ideas? Store them dry, store them dark if you can, store them somewhere where the rodents don't have access, and make sure that you store them frost-free. You best collect them before any kind of major frosts, because the frost will start eating away at the top of the crown, and it'll turn it black in a matter of a day. And then that rot spreads throughout the whole crown over the coming months by the time it's time to grow them again. You could store them in a greenhouse, but in a shed is better. If you have a dry shed that's rodent-free and frost-free, that's a good way to store them. You could immerse them in some sort of medium, but I have not found the need for that. You could just keep them in plastic crates. Make sure you wash them. Harvest your yacon. And if you guys don't know what yacon is, it's just a tuberous vegetables from the Andes, and it's really nice to eat. It's kind of like eating a pear, the texture anyway. And you can dig it up in the winter time and you can eat it. It's great for diabetics as well. You can cure it for a couple of days after removing it from the ground, and it'll make it more sweet. Like curing is simply just to put it somewhere with light, like daylight condition, like a windowsill or a table in the greenhouse, and they'd be even nicer then. So the yacons can also make a syrup from. That's actually really nice as well. It's sweet, but it's not got any sugar in it. It doesn't spike your blood sugar. But anyway, yacon is a wonderful vegetable. If you don't know about it, search the word yacon, Y-A-C-O-N, on our on our YouTube channel, our Odyssey, our Rumble, or on our website, and you'll find a video about harvesting and planting yacon as well. It's a very rewarding vegetable, but the problem is storing it without it going rotten is a real challenge, and I often lose a lot of the yacon that I store as well. So what we do is we just put it, first of all, we harvest it and we wash it straight away. We harvest it before the frost, wash it, dry it very well, put it into, make sure it's completely dry, put it into plastic crates and put it somewhere dry and dark and rodent-free and frost-free. And you should have a good chance of keeping it then until the spring. You could store it in sand, yes. You could store it in sand or in some kind of potting mix, but I found that the potting mix sometimes, even if it's dry when it goes in, it could also cause the crown to rot. So if there's any rot at all, it'll spread, just like the old blight back then. So we have a good few people joined here now. We'll do our giveaway now. So to enter the giveaway, this week's giveaway for a €50 voucher for our online shop. Again, that is for those of you on the audio only, it's gardensforlife.ie/shop. And if you are listening to this on the audio, that means you'll have to enter next week because we only put the audio out after this live chat has been broadcasted. So if you want to be in for a chance or you watch this afterwards, just come back next week. Don't be disappointed that you missed it. So to enter, just type the word enter in all capital letters in the chat. If you'd like to enter, it's free of charge, of course. You can enter for free and you can win a €50 voucher for our online shop. No strings attached. You can use it whenever you want. I think it's usually valid for about 12 months anyway. So you can buy plants or tubers or cuttings. All the winter selection is available. And if you're not from Europe, that's okay. We don't ship outside of Europe, but what you can do is you can also just use the voucher on the online course or on a membership for that matter. Or you could also use it for some of our other things that we offer there on the website. So let me see now. So we will select somebody at random, anyone that entered the word enter in all capital letters. So again, if you want to join the giveaway, please put the word enter, write the word enter in all capital letters into the chat. Do it now. You have about another minute. And then we'll pick someone. We'll run our random comment picker thingy here. And it will it'll take care of it for us. I'm always looking over here because that's where the chat is on that side of the website. Hello, Two Doves, Bees and Gardens. Thank you for joining us. Please do feel free to enter if you just joined. You can enter the giveaway as well. It's just the word enter into the chat. And as we wait for people to enter, I'll just show you. Look at this. The old golden raspberries are out now. These aren't actually 100% ripe yet, but almost. So the birds actually don't see them. They don't know that they're ripe yet. And these ripen golden, so they're golden raspberries. Isn't that great? Let me try that one. It doesn't come off the stem very easily, so it's not quite ready. But it's really nice. Again, remember the purple tree spinach? Definitely one worth growing, but you got to get the seeds first. We'll try and collect some seeds of the purple tree spinach this year, and as in the next few weeks, and we'll see if we can bring those to the next seed and plant swap. So if you want to know more about the seed and plant swap, you can also go to our events page, but I'll show you that after the giveaway. Anyone else entering the giveaway? Last chance. Also got the American elders out. American elder flowers are flowering now full whack. So the ideal time to harvest elder flowers is actually when most of them have opened, but some of them are still closed. You see these? They're closed, and these ones here are already done. So when they're gone brown, it's gone a bit too far. So you want to try and get most of them opened and some of them still closed. So And again, a wonderful vanilla aroma. We actually were out of trees of these now. We need to grow more of them, but we have some cuttings still available on the website. They'll be going out though in November. And this is another reminder to show you. Does anyone know what that is? It's a brassica anyway. So it's a kale flowering stalk, and it actually is producing these seed pods. These seed pods here. And you can see the seeds in it. They're not ripe yet. When they dry out completely, they actually separate, and then you can get the seeds from them. But just a reminder to you guys to make sure you go out there and you collect some kale seeds for next year and the year after. Collecting seeds is a bit like firewood. I like to, this year, the wood I'm cutting now is for 2 or 3 years from now. So same as the seeds. The seeds I'm collecting now are basically for 2 years from now or so. But you can kind of see the seeds in there. So yeah, you get thousands of seeds from one kale plant, and same as any brassica, you can collect the seeds from them. Just make sure you have plenty of kale plants so that they got good pollination. All right, we'll do our giveaway now. And the winner is, the website picked, Mike. Congratulations, Mike. Please send me a quick email after this show, and I will correspond to you with your voucher. You have our email address? It's just contact@gardensforlife.ie. Congratulations. Finally you won too. You've actually entered a few times, I know, and you guys are great. You and Vanessa are great for joining us so many times. You definitely deserve to win now, because you've been here for a few weeks. So our events page is gardensforlife.ie/events. If you're in the Midlands of Ireland, you can also request workshops if you want to. But mainly this time of year, we're not doing many workshops, but we will be doing some sort of a seed and plant swap towards the end of the growing season. But if you want to have a look at all the previous seed and plant swaps over the last couple of years, take a look at the page. And at the top of the page, there is actually a link. And near the top of the page, there's a link for all of the seed and plant swaps. And you can see the videos of them, so you get an idea of what's involved. Seed and plant swaps actually are great for creating a bit of community. People get to talk to each other, and people get to swap seeds and cuttings and plants, so that we spread a lot of varieties around as well, especially the kind of ones that aren't available anymore in the shops. So also it helps to not only increase biodiversity, but also the local gardeners are able to grow more varieties and more food, basically. More fruit, more veg, more flowers. Could be medicinal flowers, could be insectaries, which attract beneficial insects. So it's all good. And we can grow things. Actually, I've noticed that people have been growing on plants, seeds and cuttings that they picked up at the previous year's workshop or seed and plant swap, even 2 years ago. And they're growing those now, and they're bringing back cuttings from the same plants now and hand them on to the next people. So it's brilliant like that. We can spread a lot of abundance that way. I see, Mike. Yeah, that's good. It's good to keep a full basket on the website. Sure, why not? Oh, Vanessa, you're here too. Well, congratulations. Hold on a second now. Mike won that voucher, not you. I'm sure he doesn't mind sharing it with you. All right, folks. Well, if you have any questions, real quick, let me know. Any questions about all things gardening, homesteading, chicken keeping, let me know. At the moment, we're basically winterizing the homestead, so I'm cutting up kindling for starting fires, fixing up the stove, cleaning it all, and the chimney as well. I'm also cutting up some 2-year-old hawthorn wood as well that I got for free off the local farmers. So that was a lucky one, but it was quite a lot of work to pick it up and to cut out all the bits of the piles. And now we're going to be filling up all of our pallet sheds. We have a pallet shed that I made a video about a couple of years ago, and how to make a little shed to dry wood very quickly. Actually, you can dry even hardwoods like hawthorn, although hawthorn is quite hard to dry. In general, the ash or the beech wood can be dried in one summer in this little house. Basically, it's just a little shed made of pallets and some 4x2s on top, and with some greenhouse plastic over the top. And if you're interested in seeing what that looks like, you can type in pallet shed or just shed into our website or YouTube channel. And if you are watching this on YouTube, we do have memberships available now, and they also give you the full set of benefits as well, like 25% off everything and an extra gift with orders, or free access to our online no-dig course to the value of €69, and 3 ebooks as well that I wrote some time ago about no-dig gardening. And we also appreciate any kind of super chats or whatever you'd like to send us, of course. Again, real quick, if you want to become a member, you can go to gardensforlife/members. We'd highly appreciate your support. We're also on Patreon as well. Oh, let me see. Is there any questions? No questions. No questions. Okay. Thank you for joining tonight, and we will see you next week. I'll be putting out some videos until then. See you guys. Bye-bye.